More than 100 anti-NATO protesters have been detained in Turkiye ahead of this week's NATO summit in Ankara. The alliance comes at a crucial time with growing uncertainty over President Donald Trump's commitment to NATO, as well as mounting pressure on European allies to take greater responsibility for their own defense. Turkish authorities have tightened security across Ankara ahead of this NATO summit, banning demonstrations, barricading parts of the capital city, and closing several roads. The measures come after more than 100 people were detained during an anti-NATO protest that was organized by the Communist Party of Turkiye. Riot police even used tear gas shells to disperse demonstrators who chanted slogans including "Murder NATO, get out," as well as slogans that read "No passage to NATO." Separate protests were also held in Istanbul while opposition politicians criticized the detentions, calling them nothing but an attack on basic democratic rights.
In the end, we have gathered today in many parts of Turkey to protest against NATO and are holding marches. Over 100 of our friends were detained in Ankara. We said that we would not hand over Ankara to supporters of NATO, that we would not allow Ankara to remain silent. We have fulfilled that promise.
NATO's crimes around the world are apparent. They have also committed numerous crimes in Turkey, orchestrated coups, and have bases. And now, shamelessly, they are being hosted in Ankara. I am here today to protest because I cannot accept this blow to my honor. NATO is a very big criminal organization.
Two Turkish journalists were arrested ahead of this week's NATO summit in Ankara. Their media organizations said that they were detained. Riot groups even condemned the detentions, warning of a growing crackdown on press freedom before the high-profile meeting. A lawyer for one of the journalists said that the arrest was believed to be linked to heightened security measures surrounding the NATO summit. The Turkish government, meanwhile, has not commented on the arrests. Against this backdrop, leaders from NATO's 32 member nations will gather in Ankara on Tuesday as well as Wednesday for a summit that is expected to largely focus on the alliance's future. One of the key issues will be US changing role under President Donald Trump. Since returning to office, Trump has repeatedly questioned America's security commitments and has even urged European allies to shoulder more of the defense burden. Washington has also signaled plans to reduce its military focus on Europe, and this while encouraging NATO members to strengthen their own capabilities. European countries have already begun increasing defense spending, with allies committing to raise defense-related expenditure over the coming years. NATO officials say that Europe is preparing for a future in which it takes greater responsibility for the continent's security while they still hope to see and keep United States fully engaged in the alliance. The Ankara summit is expected to focus on defense spending, support for Ukraine, as well as the future direction of the alliance amid growing global security challenges at large.
Lütfen, lütfen.